Hi YouTubers and gamers, I'm back with a pickup video, a different one. I'm not going to show you loads of games, I'm going to show you a new console which I got recently. I ordered it back in end of October, early November, and it took a while for it to be built. If I was that's given a, well, I guess I can give a clue. This might be a clue. This is a what's it called? A custom Xbox controller with rapid fire configuration. So you just press the little your synchronization button quickly once, and it goes to mode 1, and then mode 2, mode 3, blah blah blah. And the higher the mode, the faster rapid fire is. And it's a custom controller. Run for a matte black finish with chrome buttons, chrome front, translucent controller, and chrome top triggers but black bottom triggers. So it's quite Monty. And as well as that, I have this custom Xbox 360 Slim controller. It is the Trinity motherboard, and it's the RGH type of modification. It's hard modded. It's got 1 terabyte of memory split between 2 hard drives. And the reason why I went for this model Xbox 360, because I think the Xbox 360 Slim is the best model Xbox they made. You know, you got your built-in HDMI and built-in Wi-Fi, and you're less likely to get heating issues and other problems like red ring of death and stuff like that. It's got a new fan and everything put in there. You can adjust the speed of the fans and all sorts of the settings. But again, this is custom built, so it's like a matte new shell with a chrome trimmings, 2 windows. It also has LED lights inside. You can adjust the colours, you can adjust whether they flash or they stay on all the time, or they come in, or they fade in and out. So there's quite a few options. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, so let's turn power on the Xbox. As you notice, the light came on straight away, and it takes quite a few seconds for it to boot up. There you go. Anyone who's had an RGH modded Xbox will know that that's not a bad boot up time. It's quite fast. There are a couple of things to bear in mind if you ever get one of these. Is that the Slim model, more so than fat Xbox 360, you need to have a quite a clear, good connection with your TV monitor via HDMI. By that I mean, ideally you want the HDMI lead plugged directly into a telly, or if it goes into a router, it needs to be a powered router. If it goes into a router that's not powered and you got a weak connection, the Xbox may not actually receive a signal back from a telly to say that there's, that it's connected to a monitor. And if it's not connected to a monitor, or it thinks it's not connected to a monitor, when you power on the Xbox, it will not boot. It will just try to search for a monitor and fail to boot and turn itself off after about 5 minutes. So something to bear in mind, and make sure you got a good connection. And there's a few other things to bear in mind, which I'll talk about as we go through. So this is basically the Freestyle Dash, which is the main software operate. Well, I guess it's like the alternative operating system, I suppose, for RGH. And you get a number of options. At the top there, you can see that that's for you to open a disk tray and close a disk tray. And what's good about this, and the main reason why I got this console, is that it's region free. So I can play by disc, Japanese games, American games, European games, it doesn't matter. And I have got quite a few Japanese shooters. There's about another half a dozen I need to get. And I've got a few American games as well. So that's a really good feature to have. Also, while we're talking about specs and so forth. On the right, you've got your file manager, which is self-evident. Disk extract. Basically, you go into the software, asks you to load a disk, it reads a disk, and it gives you the option of burning a disk to the Xbox hard drive. And you're able to burn both original Xbox games and Xbox 360 games. Now, it takes approximately anything between 5 minutes to half an hour to burn a single game, depending on the game size and how the files are structured. So large games like Gears of War took a long time, it took about half an hour, and the files were structured in such a way that it couldn't load the files quickly. Other games, if they're grouped into bigger folders, or smaller folders I should say, you can load games much faster. The Lego games are also large game files, sometimes they take a while to load. But other games, especially with Xbox shooters, especially Japanese ones, may only be you know, about a third of the file size, so they take next to no time, about 5 minutes to burn. Another thing to bear in mind is that if you burn original Xbox games, it'll burn them okay. Again, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes per game. But some games, about 1/3 of the Xbox library, may not necessarily play correctly. You may not get the right screen proportions. And the reason being that is depends on the original display settings. So for example, let me show you. If I were to come out of Freestyle Dash, press the Xbox menu, go to System Settings, it'll take me out of Freestyle and back into a normal Xbox menu, and go into, say, display console settings, display. You'll see an option here that says display discovery. Now if that is enabled, some of your older Xbox games in particular may not play correctly. You may get a distorted picture. So what I found is that you get a small square in the middle of the TV screen with a half of the screen visually available, and it's all badly pixelated, a bit of a mess really. However, if you disable display discovery, those older games will play fine, as will any other Xbox game, original Xbox. So 1/3 of the library will have problems with, 2/3 you're fine with if this display discovery is enabled. So the best thing to do is just disable that. Okay, so something to bear in mind, if you do get one of these, if you get Xbox original problems, that's the fault. Okay? Something I've discovered through experimentation and searching on the internet. Okay, okay, let's come out. Let's go back into a Freestyle menu. Press the Xbox button again. Freestyle Home. Yes. Takes a little while. Okay, we're back. Okay, so you've got your disk burn option, weather, not that I ever use that. Your settings, so obviously you can do your general settings, content, system, plugin. So the system, you can adjust the fan speed. Also you can, what I found most useful is setting the screen size. Where was it? Yeah, overscan value, yeah, enable letterbox. Yeah, sometimes you need to adjust the screen's proportions, the width and the height of the Freestyle Dash so it fits your TV screen correctly, and that's how you can do it in these settings. Okay, so come out there. Also, this dash you've got here, which is more of a traditional, I don't know, Xbox 7 look, you can actually, not Xbox 7, Microsoft 7 or what it's called, Windows 7, that's it. Personalise a bit, so you can choose different dashes, and there's a different number of choices here. For that one, a sort of Mario theme one, Playbox one, and within those you can adjust the colours and so forth. So with this one, I adjusted the colour scheme to from that to what you see. Yeah, sort of a more of a black look I've gone for. Okay, now let's go back to the games. basically, like I said, I have 1 TB of memory, and that's been taken up with quite a few games actually. So let's start off with the emulators. So if you go on this red box in the middle, you can load a number of emulators. I've got a few available. FBA 360. Let's go in and show you this. FBA, which is Final Burn Alpha, I think it stands for emulator, is basically all your arcade main games. So it's got your Neo Geo, Capcom System 3, 2, 1. All you can choose all the whole lot. Miscellaneous, Mega Drive. It's got on there too. Toe Plan, Cave Games, Kaneko, Konami, Psycho, PGM, System 16, Taito, Neo Geo. Okay, and yeah, it's just another emulator more than anything else really. If anyone has used FBA before on the a modded Xbox, if you could email me or tell me what are the buttons for save states and load states, I'd be very much appreciated. I've been looking online, I can't work it out and I can't find them, so I can load games and insert lots of credit and stuff, no problem, but save states a bit of a puzzle with at the moment on this particular emulator. So let's come out of here, go back to Freestyle Home, and it takes you out quite quickly. Okay, under emulators, or other emulators as well, I had like my Mega Drive emulators. I also had the SNES games, which basically has all the entire libraries for those two systems. Plus also an emulator for PlayStation, which I can't say is particularly great. I've got a few games on there. But in terms of emulators of those systems, I'll probably end up using my Android arcade machine, which I think is probably a better choice really. But also what we've got here, there's Homebrew, which is this miscellaneous file. So in there, I've got a GBA emulator, which is not working correctly at the moment, and an XEX menu, which is like an alternative way of playing the games compared to Freestyle. But also, more importantly, let's go to the Xbox games. So what have we got here in terms of original Xbox games? Well, not original Xbox games, Xbox 360 games. Here's my library. As you can see in the top left hand, I've in total 148 games burnt to a hard drive. And this is lovely because it saves wear and tear on discs, and in essence it sort of does what a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One does. It sort of, instead of we keep reading constantly over discs, it burns them to a hard drive. So it's probably a better and faster way of playing the games, and also it saves wear and tear on your disk drive, and not to mention the games. So I've got quite a few here. I've got notable shooters, Arcade Katana, classics games. Let's go through other ones that are interesting. Call of Duty, Castlevania, Crackdown, some of the Crash Xbox 360 games which I'm a fan of, Dark Souls, Deadpool, Death Smiles 1 and 2, which that's the Japanese one. I have that on disc, and on my proper European Xbox 360 I can't play it because it's region protected, so it's really nice. I've got that. Dodonpachi Resurrection, that's another Japanese shooter, although it was available in the UK, which is the UK one I got. Earth Defense Force, classic. Escatos, another Japanese shooter. Fear Files. What you find when you burn a game to a system, when you go into this menu, it often scans and downloads automatically the screen cover for you, so you don't need to worry about that. But some games, such as Fear Files, There's not a picture available for some reason. Okay, what else we got? Classic Forza games, all the Gears games, Ghostbusters, Grand Theft Auto, the Halo games, Jurassic Park the game. This is another USA exclusive. I've got the disc copy of this. This is region protected, so it will not play on your European Xbox, but obviously on this Xbox it will. And I've obviously got it burnt to my hard drive now. Killer's Dead, Left 4 Dead games, a lot of the Lego games, Lollipop Chainsaw classic, Mamoru Kun wa Nawate Shimurato, or whatever it's called, another Japanese shooter. There's about another 6 Japanese shooters I'm after. Mochi Pork and Pink Bullets. Again, this game is very expensive. It's probably about £150 to £200 game. This is. It does play though on your European Xbox, which is good. But I've got this burnt to this one anyway. Okay. Raiden 4. Also got another Raiden game coming from the States. Resident Evil 6. That's the expansion. Some games come on. You have your standard installation disc, and you might have an expansion disc. So sometimes it will take up 2 blocks if that's the case. We've got Shooting Love 200X. That's a combination of shooting games and Shooting Love 10th anniversary. More Japanese shooters. Splatterhouse. Strike Riches, another Japanese game. What was that? Tekken 6, Evil Within. The Legend of Korra, I don't know that one. Walking Dead, Vanquish. Yeah, so we're back to the beginning again. So that's good. That's quite a nice thing to have on your Xbox. So let's come out there. As well as your Xbox games, I have the original Xbox games, so let's go in here. And I've burnt the must-have games really, so I've got 30. Fortunately, the covers aren't available, and when you go into try to save the covers, it doesn't seem to find any. So anyway, we got Beyond Good and Evil, Buffy, both Buffy games we have. Burnout, all the Burnout games, Call of Cthulhu, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Dino Crisis 3, Evil Dead, I like those games. Fable, Lost Chapters, Family Guy, Futurama, Halo 1 and 2. All the Star Wars games, so Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Academy, Mistfall, Revelation, Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey, Panzer Dragoon, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, Star Wars Obi-Wan, Republic Commando, Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, I need to get a new disc for it, wasn't able to read that for some reason. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath, Taito Legends 1 and 2, which are classic compilations. The Land of the Dead, Road to Vidder's Green. This is an American exclusive Xbox game that will not play on your normal Xbox, so it's good to have that again to be able to play. Wolfenstein, and back to the beginning. So they are. I just had the essential Xbox games there. But another massive plus feature about having one of these Xbox RGH modded machines is the Xbox Live Arcade games. And on here I have 289 Xbox Arcade games. So these are games that you would have downloaded off Xbox Live and paid for in most cases. Okay. I'll just go through them gradually, so if you're interested you can pause and slow. But that is Monty, if you ask me. To have all these games that otherwise I would never have access to. These games, no. It would take me a very, very long time just to go through these and try them out and guess which ones I'm interested in. So yeah, that is pretty Monty, and another big reason to own one of these machines, because these are, you know, I'm a physical game collector, as you know, but it's nice to have access to digital games that were never available physically, and this is a good way of doing that. So I'll just keep going through them. Yeah, Ikaruga, classic. So, basically, the recommendation I'll... Yeah, sorry for that interruption. There's someone at the door. Okay, so quickly carry on showing the games again. Well, just the last of them, the last 140 odd. What I was going to say is that if you do decide to get yourself an RGH modded Xbox console, you can go for an older fat one, but you run the risk, obviously, of Red Ring of Death and issues like that. Also, it may not necessarily have a built-in Wi-Fi router. It may not be HDMI. So there's things to bear in mind. So I highly suggest getting yourself an Xbox Slim with a Trinity board and purchase as big as a hard drive as money will allow you. For this lot, I said I've got pretty much everything I want, and for that I needed a 1 TB hard drive. So I recommend that's what you would go for. Now, you may ask, how much did this set me back? Well, it's the finish. Yeah, come out there. Well, I've also forgot to show you what I think of it. Well, there's the controller for adjusting the lights. You just point it at the top of the Xbox, and you can change the colour scheme. So it could be, you can have it whatever colour you want more than anything else, really. But I won't bother showing you that. It's only LED lights, so you can see in the corner of the screen the Xbox lit up. But anyway, I had this obviously a custom control console, so it's had the windows put in, the LEDs put in, a larger fan, the hard drives, the modification to a motherboard, and all that thing. I paid, basically it cost me the same price as a PS4 Pro, and so it's not cheap. I do get a warranty with that from a proper fitter, and I suggest that if you do get one, you try to get one from a proper store or fitter, whereby you get some sort of warranty, because there's bound to be teething issues, and if there's anything does go wrong, I do want to have a named person to take it back to and try to get sorted out and fixed. But I just wanted a good cheap way of playing my Xbox games, particularly the imports. My Japanese Xbox 360 games and my American games, the only other way of me playing them, other than playing them via emulation on the PC, would be to buy like an American Xbox 360 or a Japanese Xbox 360. And by the time you pay for customs charges and transportation and import duties, it's going to cost you a fair bomb for those 2 extra consoles. And to be honest, I didn't want to have to get out 2 extra consoles, really. I've still got I don't know if you can see on the bottom, but beneath the TV, just zooming a bit there, I've still got my normal Xbox 360 Slim, sort of special Modern Warfare version, which I'll use for playing anything to do with Xbox Live and arcade games. I mean, original Xbox games. I'll probably still play it on that console. But when it comes to imports and all the Xbox arcade games and original Xbox games, I'll probably play them on this system, really. It's such a cool way of playing the games, and I think it's worth the money. Another thing to bear in mind, unless you know what you're doing, you best stay off Xbox Live if you have one of these machines. You don't want to get jailbroken or whatever they call it, blocked or whatever. And so you know, to be honest, you don't really need to go online really, unless you're really into online gaming. But you have to be careful what you do if you do have a modded Xbox. With this, I created a new profile. I don't use my existing Xbox 360 profile. I created one specially for this console. It is connected to the internet, but not via Xbox Live. It just connected to the router, so it does those automatic little updates for the screen covers and stuff like that, and the time and all those sort of basic settings. So it's the best way of doing it, really. So something else to bear in mind if you get one of these machines is that you're best staying off Xbox Live unless you know exactly what you're doing, really. Yeah, but like I said, I also got the Rapid Fire modded controller which matches the console, and these on their own cost about £60 on the eBay, so they're not cheap anyway, really. So to get everything for price of a PS4 Pro, I think it's alright. If you add up the number of games I've got, well, there's 280 odd arcade games of Xbox Live. There's about 150 Xbox 360 games, 30 original Xbox games, and quite a few thousand games on the emulators. It's really good value for money if you think about it. And like I said, the main reason why I got this console is to have a means to play my Japanese and American Xbox 360 and original Xbox games. And so this is my latest toy, and might as well say thanks for watching. Please like or dislike, whatever you want to do, and until next time, take care and bye.